Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Life Issue. This is Blessing. Thank you so much for coming to my channel this evening. I just want to talk about protecting our children. Every child should feel safe at school and at home. Every child should go to school believing that the people that are responsible for taking care of them in school, that they will protect them. But when the system fails us, when the people who are supposed to protect us fails us, it becomes something that we need to talk about. It's actually very, very worrisome when the society that we live in actually believes that is a norm, that is okay for the society, for the school to fail us. This is why I want to talk about this issue of deeper life molestation and abuse of a child. When I went through the news and I read the news and I read people's response, I was actually worried because our society thinks it's okay and is a norm that a child can be abused in a boarding school, and we call it hustling. So join me as we talk about this news. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'll be talking about this hot news that is on social media, and I'll be sharing my screen as I talk about this. Now, if you've not seen this news or if you've not actually come across it, well, I'll be showing you clips and I'll be talking to you about what actually happened. Now, because this child is a minor, I might not actually show you all the clips with his face on. Sometimes when I'm showing you the video, I might cover it because I don't want his face to be on my page because YouTube might take down my video. So let me give you the chance to watch this or listen to what happened in this child's school before we start talking about it. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen now, and it will be an audio. I don't want to show the child's face.
If I want to look at him, he will turn his face. If I want to look at him, he will turn his face. If I want to look at him, he will turn his face. In that dream, I rushed to the school. They told me that all protocols, the protocol does not allow me to see. But I had a terrible dream. And it's his first time coming to Deeper Life High School, Idoro Road. I want to see him. I had a terrible dream. They refused. After much, they brought him out. He wasn't looking this worst. I asked, why is he looking like this? I noticed that the boy was living in fear because he's a boy that talks everything. He talks too much. Please, whoever is watching this video should help me share it until it gets to the right appropriate authorities. It's not easy to muzzle man out together after COVID and send a child to school only for the child to return as a skeleton. Look at all his posts. Look at all his posts. This is a chubby striker. I will show his picture when he left for school. As he came back now, I will show his picture. He has been throwing up greenish things. I have videoed him. I will send his picture. Nigerians, please come to my aid. I never knew Deeper Life was strictly for Deeper Life members. I am not a member, but I paid my dues for my child to go to their school. So that day I went after the dream, and I discovered, and I was told that I told them that I would like to have to talk to my son one-on-one. That I wouldn't want to leave this thing this way. I would like to talk to him one-on-one. I took my son into the car. He was afraid. I said, talk to me. He said, if you talk to me, that they will kill him. I said, in a school environment, who will kill you? Talk to me. I am your mother. Here is the boy the first day he went to school. Here is the boy the first day he went to Deeper Life High School. Here is the boy the first day he entered school. Here is him, and here is him now. I want the whole world to see my son the first day he went to Deeper Life High School. I'm not saying that school shouldn't make you lose weight, but not to this extent. Look at him right now. Here is my son. As I speak now, he's running. Now, when I came that day, I took him inside the car. I had to beg a boy who talks like parrot to tell me what he's going through in school. He now told me that because he wins, the principal in the person of Ndidi, changing from GSS1 to SS what? Talk, SS what? SS1 and 2 hostels. And when you got there, what were they doing to you? Talk. They will remove his boxers and push their leg into his anus. In Deeper Life High School. Talk, let the whole one here. They will remove your boxers and do what?
They will remove my boxers and not say I'm very cool. And I said, no, all the seniors will not force me.
They will not force you. And push they will be pushing their legs, their hands into his anus. And when you threaten to report, what did they say to you?
If I report that, that's going to kill me.
Talk loud, let the whole one hear.
If I report to principal, my mom, they're going to kill me.
They're going to kill you. And there's a principal in that school. A boy that came in as a chubby boy. You saw him looking like a skeleton. A principal in that school, whatever, did not talk. Until I had a dream where I saw my son turning and was a kind of waving me goodbye.
All right, guys. I know I couldn't show the video because of some personal reason. If you want to watch the actual video, you need to go to my Instagram page or our news website. I just wanted to play the audio because I don't want to show a minor face. Once you show a minor face, somebody who is a minor, their face on video, YouTube will take down your video now, and I don't want to be involved in that kind of problem with YouTube. But you guys heard what happened. This child was sent to a boarding school, and while he was there, he said he was urinating, he was weeing, okay? So, and the principal decided to take him from his own dormitory to the senior dormitory. Now, I don't know what kind of a human being the principal is. How can you take a junior student to a senior student? So when she made that decision, the child was actually molested in the senior dormitory. When I saw that, I just said, you know what, this is a failure on the part of the head teacher. She has something to answer. How can you? It's as if this child was discriminated against. It was as if he was actually singled out for a fault that is not his. A child that went to, that weed himself is not his fault. He's a child, okay? Make sure that you have things in place. Make sure they go to the toilet before they go to bed. Wake them up in the morning, in the middle of the night. It is your responsibility as a school to provide way of checking this, not body shame or shame the child by making decision. But this is what happens in Nigerian schools when we're in dormitory or when we're in secondary school. This is what happened. The head teachers are demigods. They make decisions, they do certain things. But not only that, what actually got these parents, really upset is that when the child was taken to the senior dormitory, they actually molested this child. You can see her explanation. They fingered him. They used their hands. That was what the guy could tell the parent, okay? And you know what? What got me heartbroken about this story as an educationalist, as a teacher, is that the school failed this child. The head teacher, the teacher failed this child. I think that they need to be brought to book. The authority needs to come in and they need to pay compensation or be taken to court. This story should not just be taken like a norm, okay? Now, this is why our parent instinct, as a parent, when you have this dream, when you have this feeling that something is wrong somewhere, you need to follow it up. Thank God that this mom had this dream and she decided to follow. He's already traumatized, as you can see. I didn't want to show his picture, but I'll try to, maybe in my thumbnail, I'll put the guy's picture, his before and after, if it's possible, if I can block his face. But if you follow the video you go to my Instagram page or go to my news website, you actually watch, or my Twitter, you watch the video fully and you understand what actually happened to this child and how this child became a skeleton. He became a skeleton. And you know what? What actually baffled me was that the mom actually told the school of this child condition. Urinating as a child or at his age could be a medical reason. It could be a medical reason. Why would a head teacher do this to a child? Why would you? I just couldn't understand. They have taken the major responsibility of a school, which is to make a child feel safe. As a teacher, as someone who is in the educational sector, you should first of all understand that your safety and you're keeping the children safe is your number one priority. No child should feel unsafe. No child should come into school and want to experience what this child had experienced. I couldn't believe it when I saw this news, and when I read it, I was like, oh my God, this is the failing of a school. And you know what? This school happens to be one of the most expensive school in Akwa Ibom. The mom said how much she paid to actually get her child into that school. Now, people are talking about this story, but first of all, what I want to say is this has got nothing to do with that GO. I mean, people are talking about the fact that it is a deeper life school. It is, but I don't think it has. I don't think it has anything to do with the GO. It has got nothing to do with the GO. To be frank with you, the man is not the proprietor. The man is not the head teacher. He's not there. Even though, yes, he is the one that appointed the head teacher because it's a faith school, but it has got nothing to do with him. But what baffles me as a Nigerian, what got me worried is some Nigerians' response to this particular news. It got me thinking about the society that we live in, where we'll see something that is wrong, but because of religion and faith, we actually think it is okay just because we want to protect our church or just because we want to protect our religion. When have we become so callous that when we see black, we call black white? Let me show you some of the reactions that I saw that got me thinking about the society that we live in. Okay, this person said, these kids go with provision to school and they have pocket money to buy things during lunchtime. If it's clearly part, I don't support, but life as a brother is like this. I mean, literally, this child is too rigid to take care of himself. Not all child can take care. Can you imagine someone, I didn't bother going to this person's profile because she is actually a big fool, to be frank with you. What has provision, what has been a hustler got to do with what happened to this child? This is a human being supporting what happened to this child. I mean, there was a lot of comment like this. Another person saying, let us be guided because we speak against the church. Anybody, it has got nothing to do with the church. I get upset. I was so upset when I saw people talking about the church or no church. It has got nothing to do with the church. If a church or a faith school does something, we as a society should have the right to say what they did is wrong. We should not take because it's a deeper life school. We cannot condemn it. What is going on? When have we allowed religion to become every day that even when something is wrong, we are shut down when we say what they have done is wrong? Just because it's a faith school, we should not condemn them. We should not say what they have done is wrong. What is happening to our society? And another person is talking about if you go to boarding school, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Does going to boarding school mean that you should be molested? You should be made to feel as if you're not a human being. You should be abused because you're in boarding school. That seniors should treat you this way. What kind of idiot do we have in our society? What kind of people, human beings, do we have? I went to boarding school. Nobody will give food wearing singlet. And why was he late? This is the kind of thinking human beings that we have in Africa, and yet we complain. Not Africa, sorry, not everybody is like this, to be frank with you, but we have many people like this, And yet we complain of our government and of Buhari, when we as citizens, we also have issues in our thinking. How can any sane person read this story and support what happened to this child? I cannot believe that they were supporters. I cannot believe that people actually felt like it should be okay for children to go into boarding school and experience something like this. I cannot believe it. But yes, we can see a lot of fools who are supporters and who are saying, I went to a first school, normal things with, can you imagine? Normal things when Pekin leaves house and enter hostel? No, it is not normal. It is abnormal. This should not happen to any child. No child should pass through this kind of abuse. No child should. It's not normal. We cannot on one hand say that our government is doing the wrong thing and we're saying and this and that and this, but we as ourselves, we are wicked to ourselves. We use religion as everything. We use religion as everything. I cannot believe people actually supporting what happened to this boy. I can't believe it. I was dumbfounded when I saw people's comments. This is a little boy, for crying out loud. I'll show you this guy's picture. This is this guy's picture. A little boy. And this happened to him. And people are supporting it. Lame support. But thank God we have some Nigerians who reasons. And I'm going to show you some of the comment that people are making. This is wickedness. Thank you for, it is wickedness. It is wickedness. Why would you punish a child because he wheezes in his pants? He is young. It could be a medical condition. I don't want people talking about, it's not about deeper life. It's not about, I don't want this to become a deeper life issue. It's not a deeper life issue. What we should be talking about here is the way children are treated in boarding school. Some of us went to boarding school. We know what happens there. But what we're saying is, isn't it about time we challenge the things that are happening? Shouldn't children go to school and be protected? Shouldn't children go to school and feel safe? Who are these seniors that feel they can punish children anyhow? I might have done it when I was young, but when I look at it now, how am I supposed to? Will I want my child to pass through all those senior? I didn't, and to be frank with you, I wasn't in boarding school until when I was like maybe in my year, when I was SS2 or SS3, when I became a prefect. So I didn't explain some of these things that people explain when they were when they were younger, because I went into boarding school when I was already a senior. So nobody actually made me pass through that. But on hindsight, I'm asking myself a question. Is this right? Isn't it about time we stand against this molestation and abuse of our children because they are in the hostel or they're in the dormitory? Isn't it about time we call a spade a spade? Shouldn't we be supporting this mom to fight against this maltreatment of our child? Why do we have parents supporting this abuse and saying the child should hustle? Let's talk about this issue. Let's discuss this issue. Let's come out and support this mother. No child should go into school and be abused. School should be a safe place. If this has happened in the Western world where I live, that school will be closed. Like we're talking about imprisonment. That's what we're talking about. Like a child molested to that extent, we're talking about imprisonment. So I don't know why Nigerians we travel, read news, but we don't imbibe that in our system. Not all Nigerians, I'm not going to say all Nigerians, some stupid ones, those that are making these stupid comments, linking this to religion. Somebody said is attack on the church. It has got nothing to do with the church. It has got nothing to do with faith. It has a lot to do with making a school accountable for an abuse melted onto a child. That is what this case is all about. And every sane parent should stand up and talk about this. and make sure that this proprietor, this head teacher, is brought to book. This is my take on this story. I don't know about yours. Drop your comments, but let's talk about this, because I do not think that any child should go into school and be treated this way. Not my child. If I'd been my child, to be frank with you, haha, by now that school, to be frank, I will sue them. I will sue them. So, and I thank God for Nigerians. Some Nigerians are getting it. Some Nigerians understand that molesting a child has got nothing to do with church. We need to call a spade a spade. All right, guys, what do you guys think about this story? This is my take on it. I just think that this school needs to be called out for what they did to this child. No child should ever go into school and be molested because they live in a dormitory or because the school is a faith school. It should not happen to any child. That's my take on this story. What do you guys think? Drop your comments. God bless you.